First of all, my bestie is here with me, Miss Allen, so I wanted to just recognize her because she supports me on those days when I'm pissed off and I'm just saying what I really think. I have two of my fellow Madam DAs in the room, Miss Tasha Mosley, the DA in Fulton. Sometimes you just need a circle of friends to ask advice for. There are too many people in this room to just name everyone. But what they don't tell you is I got friends on each side of the bar, and my sister in love, Chinwe, is over there. She's one of the baddest defense attorneys there ever was. But we don't always have good conversations, so I'm just going to tell you. But I want to be serious for a minute. Today is a really important day, International Women's Day in Atlanta. Such a thing didn't exist that many years ago, and we certainly didn't have a celebration of women like this, but for two beautiful women. There's truly no place in the world that I'd rather be, and no tribe that I want to be a part of other than this one. So I'm both grateful and elated to be here today. I want to tell you something. There was a time not so many weeks ago where some folks were spurred. And they started withdrawing invitations that they had made months ago. And I got a text from these two beautiful women, and they said, we don't give a damn what they're talking about. We are who we are. That's how that text message went. So this year's theme for International Women's Day is Invest in Women if you want to accelerate progress. And my theme is Courageous Women. How many of you know that if you expect progress to be achieved or accelerated, it has always, somebody say always, required courageous women?
Amen.
The first two courageous women I want to acknowledge are Miss Ladora Miltier and Miss Sakara Johnson.
Woo!
That's the real text message that came through. And these absolutely gorgeous women, they were like all of you. They had watched the newscasts. They had read the newspapers. They had seen their district attorney call every single thing but a child of God. And at the height of all that bullshit, all of those media attacks, these two strong women said, we don't care nothing about it. You are the woman that we want to honor. And we respect the road you're walking. They said, we know your heart, but more importantly, we know the work that you've done to continue to keep this community safe. We know how you fight to keep our children out of gangs. We know that you're the only district attorney in this country that has a program that runs all year long in the school system with children. We know about your book bag drive that puts 2,000 to 3,000 book bags in kids' hands. We know about the Thanksgiving drive, the Christmas drive, all the things that a DA doesn't traditionally do that you make sure get done every day. So we don't care what they talk about. But most of all, we know that you're a fighter for justice, and that as long as one is fighting for justice, attacks are to be expected, and we pay them no mind. So the two courageous women, I want y'all to stand for these two women that made these days possible, to let them know how much you appreciate them. The courage these two ladies showed, it does not only make me smile and warm my heart, but it makes me real proud to be part of their tribe. A tribe of strong women, made up of every color, every ancestry, every creed, every socioeconomic status. I'm proud to be part of this tribe. So I do not think profounder words have ever been written than if you are interested in progress, you better invest in women. Now, ladies, I don't want y'all to get confused because she loved a chocolate brother. Don't let it be said that a DA don't love a man. But if you're paying attention, you might have learned for women to change back to yesteryears. They want to make things great again.
Oh, no, girl.
They want you to pay attention to what they are advocating for. They want women to sign up to go back in time to a time where women had no rights and people of color were thought less than. So me, my mama, my auntie, my daughters, we gonna pass on that invitation. These folks are not interested in going forward. In fact, they boast of going backwards. Those same men want to erase history and take books away. So we don't realize that the time of the past is not where we were celebrated, and it's not where we should go. That we must forge ahead to achieve and to accelerate progress. As women, we are going to have to decide, do we want leadership that sexualizes women?
Hell
Do
no.
we want leadership that degrades women?
Hell
Do
no.
we want women, do we want leadership that glorifies or makes normal sexual assaults on women?
Hell no.
That type of leadership? Or do we want women in leadership?
Hell yeah.
Do we want men in leadership that put women as their equal and by their side?
Hell yeah.
That's how real the decision is. Great men have always accomplished things with great women by their side. Great men have always understood that the place of a woman is the place where decisions are made, not in the back room being victimized. Oh yeah, I said it.
Oh.
I am here today to discuss why you must support women. Do I got any women candidates in the room? Please say it. Don't leave this prayer till you get to know these women, till you know their website where you can donate money to where you can support them. If that support is a prayer, then make it a prayer. If that support is a phone call, then make it a phone call. If that support is an email chain, then email. But get off your ass and do something.
Yes.
I am here today to discuss why you must support these women if you want an environment that is inclusive and safe for women. So today we're going to talk a little bit about me. We're going to talk a little bit about our collective history. We're going to talk a little bit of Fani of the past and Fani in the present. Because both those women are nightmares for those that want to go back.
Woo.
What I need you to understand as I speak is Fani is not just me, but all of you. Let me start by telling you why it is so important for women to be in places where important decisions are made. One of my favorite biblical stories that always motivates me is Esther. Many of you know the quote, "You were born for a time such as this." But do you know the story of Esther? Do you know that Esther was a beautiful queen whose life had some heartache and some lessons? You know this because if you pay attention to the biblical text, it tells you that she's being raised by her uncle because both of her parents are dead. If you know the biblical text, you know she was not the first wife of the king. If you know her story, she becomes the queen after the first wife is gotten rid of. Her husband, the king, had befriended a man by the name of Haman. Haman was rich, he was powerful, and he was a racist man. Sound like anyone you know? Oh yeah, I said it. Haman was filled with hate. You might recognize his characteristics in some modern day politicians. I'm just saying.
Especially
He was
ones that have
also a great
motion.
persuader. In fact, he persuaded the king to do evil things. Much like some modern day politicians today are able to persuade many to throw away common decency. He goes to the king and he convinces him on a date, certain, that Haman's group should be allowed to kill the Jews and not be punished for such behavior. He's persuaded by Haman, this king. Esther fasts for 3 days and prays. How many of you know that fast and prayer will change things? See, Hester, his wife, is a courageous woman. She goes uncalled for to the king, and if you don't know your Bible, that may get lost on you. To go to your king uncalled for is a punishment that you can get death for. But she has the courage to go forward anyway. And she plans 2 feasts. See, she knew how to make a sandwich. At the feast, her and the man are able to convince the king that it was not proper to kill the Jews. And instead, the Jews go on to live, to thrive, and to prevail. All based on the courage of Esther. But for her courage, the world is a different place. Courageous women have been bringing safety to multitudes since biblical times. So my name is Fani. It's a Swahili name. That's right. In Swahili, it means purpose. Swahili is a language that is born in East Africa and is spoken in 14 different African countries. In the language Swahili, I's are often pronounced as they would be in English as an E. Some of y'all are familiar with the name Nia, N-I-A. You don't realize that you're speaking Swahili and that the I in Nia is pronounced like an E. Nia means purpose. I named my firstborn that. Recently, I listened to one butcher my name in an attempt to insult me. The idiots, they called me Fani, thinking that that was something that would sexualize me. See, they're into sexualizing women. They thought that's what they were doing to me. And in fact, in a crowd of like-minded people, they thought that that was something that was funny, the sexualization of the district attorney. They didn't understand the last laugh was on me. See, I'm able to read and write. I don't care what they want to do with boys. And see, I know my history and the power of a name. They're going to learn today. Recently, I was literally caused to laugh out loud as I listened to several idiots on conservative radio tell how the media had decided to pronounce my name as Fani to make me sound more sophisticated. I thought y'all so damn stupid. Half the time, the media doesn't pronounce my name correctly because the correct pronunciation is Fani because the name is Swahili. That's right. But the great irony of these many idiots as I listen to them call my name as Fani in an effort to put me down or humiliate me is Fani is someone I would love to be remembered by. I would love to be remembered by the brilliance and the courage and the strength of Fani Lou Hamer. See, in my house, we know our history. We are not destroying books and telling lies. They better hope I don't have Fani Lou Hamer's fighting spirit. They better hope that that 5'2" women ain't like this 5'2" woman. They better hope that I don't command a room in the way she was able to. They better hope that in 1971, the year I was born and the year she started the National Women's Political Caucus, it was not God just passing the baton. You know, God has a way of using one to start his mission and another to finish it. Many of you know the history of the great Fani Lou Hamer. Some of us, through our shameful educational systems, do not teach her story. Let me tell it today briefly. She was born in 1917. She was the last of 20 children. Her stature was 5'2". 60 years ago, in 1964, she gave one of the greatest speeches of all time, telling the truth of how when she went to vote, they did everything to stop her. They used white men in uniform and authority to terrorize her. Throughout her life, and in an attempt to stop what they could stop, a woman of power and courage continued to prevail. They fined the bus that she was on, get this y'all, because it was the wrong color yellow. They gave her a literacy test, but she failed twice and came back on a third time and passed. They called her she knew and loved so many times, they learned to take the phone off the hook. They shot at her house. A white doctor forced a hysterectomy on her so her children, she could not have children, so they adopted children. These things they did for her demise. When she gave her famous speech in 1964, President Lyndon Johnson was so afraid that he started a press conference at the same time so nobody would be paying attention. How many of y'all know how my God works? They didn't play it at that time. They played it over and over and over again. Her message could not be stopped. How many of y'all know that she is one of our greatest civil rights pioneers? How many of you are teaching your children her legacy and her sacrifice so we could all be in this room together? She once said, I guess if I had any sense, I'd have been a little scared. But what was the point of being scared? The only thing they could do was kill me. And I kind of felt like they've been trying to do that a little bit since time I could remember. They better hope I ain't Fani. When she died, and since she has died, she's been given more awards, and her name still rings out today. How many of y'all know we don't know not one of those men in authority's names? God will not let greatness be quelled. So there's a 5'2" sister in Atlanta. And in the spirit of Fani Willis, let me tell you, there are no disparaging words. There are no threats. There are no men in places of authority that are going to be able to stop Lady Justice, because no one is above or below the law. I was walking in just this week to the courthouse, and a good friend of mine saw me walking in. I got to tell y'all, I was a little embarrassed. I had to come from working out. Hair wasn't combed. Had a sweatshirt on. But I had not seen him in a year, and so we hugged. And I apologized for my appearance. Now, despite what they tell you, my friends come in all shades and colors and of all political parties. My friend's a judge now. We've known each other since we came to the district attorney's office back in 2001. He is a white man and a die-hard Republican. When he saw me with sincerity, he asked, Fani, are you okay? And I said, I'm good. How these streets getting fine on y'all? And then he asked what I believe to be in genuine concern. He said, do you regret running for DA? I was literally shocked at the question. I am sure I looked at him like he was crazy. I said, are you kidding? I'm the best DA this county's ever had.
Woo-hoo!
95% conviction rate. Crime is down 23%. We're cracking down on gangs. I got gang bangers on the phone talking about, better go to that shit in the jail. I'm just telling you what they say on the jail card. I have great relationships with the community and the law enforcement alike. I run the only year-long program in the school system where we are keeping children out of gangs. No, I don't regret running for DA. I love this county. Fulton needs me, and I need Fulton. Let me tell you how much I don't regret it. Wednesday, I went and re-up. I want 4 more seats.
Yeah! Years. 4 more years.
He didn't understand. I come from the history of Fani Willis. The insults don't deter me, they motivate me. See, Lyndon Johnson trying to suppress Fani's speech didn't suppress it. He catapulted her. The attacks on me have done the same. More know my name in March of 2024 than did in December of 2023.
Woo-hoo!
No matter what they do, God has his hand on my life, and I got my hand on him. I only ask for a fair shake, but I never expect one. And thus the unfairness never surprises me, nor does it deter me. I hope every time these idiots call me Fanny, they feel Fani Willis' spirit and resilience because it lives in me. I hope they know her ancestors' veins run in my veins. I hope they know that her courage is something that I aspire to be. I hope every day they call her name, they understand for a black woman, threats and lies will never deter our work. I hope they know I don't care what they say or do. I'm going to still be standing here doing what is right for my community. Ladies, I need you to embrace your inner Fani Willis. I need you to vote for every woman on the ballot or man that has sense enough to put a woman in his cabinet in a role of leadership. You must make them show their leadership teams and how committed they are to women and the advancement of women. We can no longer go on thinking it is okay for men to celebrate the abuse, the sexualization of women. It is unacceptable. Let me tell you why this is so important. Recently, I was reading a Yale Law Review article. I told you I read. And I was quite disgusted as I read it. It talked about how for years, rape was the only crime on the books that required corroboration. Corroboration would have to come in form of another witness or something else. A woman saying a man raped her could never be enough. Now I need y'all to really pay attention. Robbery, that would have been enough. Burglary, that would have been enough. Kidnapping, that would have been enough. It was just the crime that could be committed against women they had for years on the books that you needed cooperation. And this law stood for many, many years. Why is it that this is the only crime that needed cooperation? The answer is simple. Women were not in the places where the laws were being made. They weren't in positions of power. And men, of course, had an incentive to making this particular crime harder to prove. See, they don't want you to know that history. They want you to repeat it. They hope you're not reading. They want you to not vote for people that will make sure when a woman is testifying in a courtroom, disrespecting her is an acceptable norm. They want a two-class system. Women must be in all, somebody repeat all rooms where important decisions are being made. Or you can expect laws like this rape law will rear its ugly head again. Oh, come on, D.A. Willis, that seems remote to me. Aren't you overreacting just a little? Well, let's talk about it. How remote is it? Or are we standing in a time when you are being asked to vote for sexual assaulters? Are we standing in a time where you're being asked to vote for men that are comfortable disrespecting women? Are we standing in a time where they ask you to stand for people who want to impact your reproductive rights? Not the woman and her husband, strangers. By the way, the same men that wouldn't give you 10 cents to help you with your children or pass a law that would benefit you and your children. No matter what you are told, from biblical times of Esther to 60 years ago with Fani Willis, to the current day Mayor Franklin, to the King of Williams, or how about our incomparable Vice President, a fellow Bison, Kamala Harris, who I have never had the pleasure of meeting but commend. They want you to not see the beauty and the brilliance in the Ladors and the Sakuras of the world. Courage can come in all forms, but it cannot come without action. Somebody hear that. Courage can come in all forms, but advancement and achievement cannot come without action. So you need to activate your activism now. There is no more time to wait. You must vote for folks to tell them, we ain't going back to yesteryear. You need to tell them you want folks with your values in the room time to be courageous. You are needed in this time to stand up for women as these two did for me. You are needed to stand up for men who stand up for women. You must stand against men who demoralize and disrespect women. Did you hear me? You must stand against men who demoralize and disrespect women. And those women that find it okay to stand next to those men. Come on. So today, and in all the days to come, please let your courage shine through. See, what you don't know is we got them on the ropes. And they are running scared of the power in this very room. And they should be. Together, united, we can accelerate all the progress and feed.